What's going on, guys? G season is continuing here, and we're taking a look at some G-Unit kits. Now, the G-Unit is the Gundam Wing side story that I'm not really familiar with the story at all, but I am familiar with the first kit that we're going to be taking a look at. The Aesculapius was one of the very first kits that I built ages and ages ago, probably close to 20 years ago. But over the years, these kits have sometimes been hard to find, as Bandai obviously doesn't produce them that often. These are back from 1997, so they're pretty old kits. But recently Bandai did do a new production run of them, so if you did want to get your hands on any of these, now is a good time to do that. So that's why I wanted to take a look at some of these with you guys. So we're going to be taking a look at these in order. I don't have all of the full set, I just have some of them. We are going to take them in order though, and like I said, we're going to be starting off with the Aesculapius. So the Aesculapius is sort of like, well, it reminds me a lot of the GP02 Gundam and its transformation. I mean, it's a very evil looking Gundam, and then its transformation, it sort of transforms into like a Zeon sort of looking mobile suit, Mia Zeon sort of looking Gundam too. So that's why I guess maybe it kind of reminds me of the GP02. But it does also have some massive claw weapons as well, and it's pretty cool. And again, these kits are just old HD kits from 1997, so they're not going to be anything too great. They're very sticker heavy, their articulation is pretty bad, they're just seam lines all over the place. But if you guys are looking for something cool, these definitely are some pretty cool designs. So let's take a look here at the Aesculapius, shall we? One other interesting thing to note about this most recent run of these model kits is that they've changed up the box art a little bit by just adding this Gundam W Comics G-Unit series up there in the corner, where that wasn't there in previous runs of this kit before. On the ends of the box, you can just see basically the same thing, but it just shows this is a 02 in the line. On the one side here, you can see what the kit is going to look like painted up front and back. There you can see the proportions aren't that great. The posing in there in this particular photo also not very great, so they're not really doing it any favors there. But it's like I said, it's a pretty cool design. And over there you can see the transformation into, I guess, sort of its like mobile armor mode there, and you can see just some detail images of what that's going to look like. It's got some pretty nice detail on there, despite, like I said, the articulation and general construction not being all that great. The details are alright. Now with this just recently being reproduced, it's now got the blue Bandai logo on there, and that also means it doesn't show the price on the box anymore, but the list price for these is around 880 yen. I think the larger ones are a little bit more expensive, but this one was 880 yen, so under 1,000 yen, so around 10 bucks for this kit's also not bad. So inside here we've got 3 bags of runners and our instruction manual here. And on the front of the instruction manual, a nice big photograph of the painted kit. So that's a good sample in case you're wanting to paint your kit and you want to paint it to match. You got a good reference photo there for that, so that looks pretty nice. On the back, we got reference photos here as well for the mobile armor mode front and back. There it is with the claws, the mono eye, and all that. And then the back side of just the normal form there as well. We got our color guide over here, which is all in Japanese. We got that there for you. On the inside, a lot more stuff here in color. Some more about the Gundam itself there, once again in mobile armor mode with the big claws and everything. Some detail shots. And then over here about the comic file. So this is all here in Japanese as well. We got a little bit about the story and just the comic, the manga this is based out of, and then you got an illustration here. The illustration looks great. I mean, the artwork for this Gundam looks great. The actual kit itself, it doesn't quite match, of course, with this being such an old kit, but you can kind of refer to this, and then that would make a good reference if you wanted to do some modifications to make it look a little bit more like the original line art. But there's that. We do also have a parts list in here. So as you can see, just a few runners there, nothing really too much, and then it's just through all of the construction here, and it does also have some stickers. I'll show you where to place the stickers there, around there, and then how to do the transformation, which is basically just like fold the backpack up over the top of the head of the Gundam and then just fold the claws down, and that is pretty much it. It's pretty simple, but alright, let's take a look at the runners. So here is the foil sticker sheet, and as you can see, there's a lot of foil stickers on this, but it's basically just all this like kind of orange gold color for the claws, and there's a few more little smaller ones. You got one there for the eyes and a couple other little ones there for some cameras, a couple little white bits, but the majority of these are just going to be for all the claws and everything. So pretty sizable foil sticker sheet for this kit. But then on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have a very tiny sticker sheet here of some marking stickers as well too. So you got the cool like snake skull logo there for this, and just a couple of generic caution markings. Then we've got PC115 for our polycap runner for this here in gray, and you'll notice this is the polycap runner where you have the hands as polycaps, unfortunately. Alright, the runner A1 here is in 3 colors, some clear orange over here for the beam sabers. You'll notice the beam saber handle is molded together with the blade, so you will have to mask and paint the handle on that. And some kind of light blue for some parts there, and some dark blue for some other parts like the feet and the middle of the torso and all that. Runner A2 has some more of the light blue color, but then we also have some white parts on here as well for the backpack and different parts around there on the kit. Number B1 here is in purple, and it's just basically all the parts for the big shoulders and the backpack transforming parts. And then B2 is the rest of our purple parts here, mostly for the legs and some other parts for the shoulders in there as well. Then we're going to see here some more parts in white, including parts for the heads and some other legs, shoulder parts and all that here. And that's it for all the runners. So as you can see, not a lot of stuff in there, but again, it's a 1997 HG kit. So I mean, what you've got there is actually just, exactly what you would expect, I suppose. And again, some nice detail. So let's get it all built up and then we'll see how it's looking. But alright, so here it is. And as you can see, pretty sticker heavy, of course, all those stickers on there, especially up on the claws. I mean, if you guys watched the live stream build of this, you saw me agonizing through putting all those stickers on to cover up all the claws, so that took a little while. But I mean, in general, you can see that the kit does have a good amount of surface detail on there. The detail of the parts is there. I think it could do with some proportion adjustments to this, and obviously a lot of seam line removal. And then, you're gonna have to do a lot of masking to get the colors quite right. But there's definitely a lot of potential here with these, with all the detail and everything that you have to work with so far. So it would take some work, but I think that you could do a lot with them. So let's go ahead and just take a closer look, see what else we can do with this kit. So just to run through the rest of the stickers, we got the head camera sticker there, this sticker that covers all the V-fin with the white and orange there, sticker for the eyes, of course, a sticker for the chin there, a sticker for the vents in the front of the chest. This crotch part there is a light blue part like the side skirts, but it's covered with a big white sticker to cover that whole thing, and an orange sticker over the bottom of that. Sticker here on the knee, sticker here on the front of the ankle kind of part there. Around here on this part on the back, red sticker there, white sticker on top, foil orange stickers there on the vents on that, and then of course, like I said, 2 stickers to cover each side of each 6 of the claws there. And a couple of like marking stickers and things that were included. Of course, they don't look good at all on here, but I did put those on just so you guys could see how some of those will look. So like here's a couple of those you'll see around on the kit as well. Now as for the articulation, and this is going to be kind of falling off here, as I've noticed to be kind of common issue with this kit because the arm is so heavy. The peg is not quite long enough. I feel like if you're moving this around, the arm tends to fall off kind of easily. But the head will go up and down, not really a whole lot really. Actually, it's pretty much stuck in that position. You can turn it, of course, but up and down movement is going to be pretty minimal on that. In the torso section, you can rotate it, and that's going to be about it. No ab crunch, obviously, or anything with this. And the arm is just connected in there via a straight peg, so you can just rotate that around. You can also then bring the arm up to about, yeah, it's going to be popping off. The arms pop off this kit very easily. You can bring the arm out to about there, like 45 degrees before that's going to start to come off. And the elbow joint with this horrible exposed poly cap there for that elbow joint, and then the huge gap there as well, will give you about a 90-degree bend there for that. The poly cap hands are just attached there via ball joints as well. As for the claw part for this, this will come down on this kind of extendo arm from the shoulder. Maybe easier to take this off the body first, then put this back on. So that folds down around the arm like that for your claw arm. And then you can sort of bend the elbow a little bit once the claw is attached onto there to have a little bit of a bend there in that. And then this part that's on the back will rotate up over the top. Then you kind of drop that down a little bit so that becomes like the new shoulder armor there over the top like that. And then just to continue on with the transformation while we're here, you also need to remove the head in the process, and what you'll do is flip this part up over the torso like that and kind of drop this piece down there like that for the transformation. So I'll show you what the kit looks fully transformed in a minute, but there's just a look at how the transformation basically works for this. Going down here to the front skirts, those are connected. Those will move up and down a little bit. The side skirts as well also move up and down a little bit. The back skirt around here is just fixed in place there like that. The hips, as you might imagine, are just stuck on there via just ball and socket joints, so you can rotate those a little bit at the top. You can bring them out to about there is going to be about the maximum width for that. And then forward only is you're going to be allowed about, again, like 45 degrees basically is what the front skirts there will allow you before you get to the knee bend here, which is actually double jointed in the knee, but it's still only going to give you about 90 degrees there basically for that. And the ankle is just on a ball joint, so you can kind of move that around a little bit there. You can angle it a little bit side to side, but you can't get a very wide stance out of this really. So of course with a kit of this age, there's no proper action base connector for it. So if you want to put this up on an action base, your choices are to do like what I'm doing here, which is just using the simple like fork action base adapter that fits around the hip joint there. Or what you could easily do if you have a drill is just drill a simple 3mm hole up in the center of the hip section there, and then just use your standard like just peg adapter for putting this up on an action base for doing some aerial poses. Now, of course, with the articulation of this kit, doing any sort of aerial dynamic poses is not going to be looking that impressive, because the articulation is just not good, so you really are not going to be able to do anything super dynamic with this. But as you can see, there's some things that you can do. I mean, you can do a few simple poses and it still looks pretty good, and that's the thing with this kit. As I was mentioning earlier, I think the kit doesn't look that bad, and I mean, there's definitely some work that could be done. Even if you just wanted to just do some panel lining and top coat, I think that would definitely help to make it look pretty good just as it is. But major seam lines you would need to remove are going to be on the claws, on the shoulder, which, I mean, the shoulder claw parts, those parts. On the back of the leg, the thighs, the forearms are going to be kind of the main ones. There's a couple other ones here and there. And I think probably doing some work to hide some of the polycap joints a little bit, like up on the shoulders and in the elbows, in the back of the knee, sort of to a degree as well. That's not very visible there, maybe up in the ankles. But anywhere where you've got these exposed polycap joints, and especially changing out the hands for some other different option part hands would be a good idea too, I suppose. But taking these steps to improve the look of the kit will definitely go a long way, and I think what you've got here as just a base kit, a starting point, as I said before, is pretty good. I think you got a lot of nice surface detail on there, but the proportions aren't bad. They could use it with some adjustment, but it's definitely pretty easy to see a lot of potential with these kits. So one last thing I want to show you guys here before we wrap up the review. I wanted to do a comparison here for you guys, showing you my other version of this kit, which is an antique, which I built and did a little bit of painting on. I think this would have been about 20 years ago now. So as you can see, I did a little bit of painting on this, and all the painting that I think that I did on this was I think some of it was hand brushed with some testers enamel, and then some of it was done with some paint marker as well. And one of the back of the shoulder parts is broken, but let me just show you guys, just if any of you are curious. As for the review of this kit, there's not really any point in showing this to you, but just thought this would be fun just to share with you guys. So all the parts that were in a light blue, I repainted with silver. And then the parts that were the orange gold stickers, I repainted those in yellow. And then I added the white details, the parts that are supposed to be white, like here and here and here and on here, and basically painted those, and then cleaned up where I painted outside the lines where it was not supposed to. Cleaned it up by just scoring it with the hobby knife thing, and then the top of the feet, instead of just being solid black, painted that. And you can see it's terrible, gross painting with again, I think it's either Gundam marker or not, and it wasn't Gundam marker, just regular paint marker, not Gundam brand marker. Or just some testers enamel, which I think the silver was maybe a paint marker, and the white was a paint marker. The yellow I think was maybe done with the brush. I don't remember exactly. Again, like I said, this was 20 years ago. And then did do a little bit of pen lining on that as well, I think with just a fine tipped felt pen or something. Just thought it'd be interesting to show that to you guys. So there you go, some really terrible work of mine from a long time ago. But yeah, I liked this kit way back when, and so I do still like the design. I think the kit needs a lot of work, but there you go. Alright, so that's going to be it for this review, guys. In the next one, we'll be taking a look at the LO booster. So look forward to that coming up next. And again, if you guys missed the live build, I did live build the Aesculapius here, as well as the Hydra Gundam, which is going to be the one next after the review of the LO booster. So you can check out the live build if you missed that. Again, thank you to USA Gundam Store for sponsoring the reviews. As always, you guys can check the link down below to USA Gundam Store and save 10% off everything there on the store using my coupon code ZakuAurelius10, so use that as much as you'd like. And as always, guys, thank you so much for the support, for subscribing, liking, commenting, whatever you guys want to do to show your support. I appreciate it. I'll see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye, guys.